Hi folks, thanks for tuning in to another edition of TDA TV. We're really excited today to be sitting at Pinnacle Whitetails with Connor and the entire Pinnacle family. For those of you that don't know, Pinnacle is a family-run business. They're down here near Hallettsville, Texas. We're really excited to be at their pens and facilities today. Connor, talk to us a little bit about how you got started and kind of where you're trying to grow from here.
Okay, so we got started we only had 5 pins and a few does, a few bucks, and it was really just a hobby for us. And we saw as opportunity to take that and actually go into the business that we have today. And from here, we're trying to grow it into one of the premier deer breeding operations in Texas and just have happy customers, good customer service. That's kind of what we're all about. So,
talking about that a little bit, as we drove around your pens, the quality of deer that you have in pens is astounding. We hear a lot about, big-bodied deer and other things, but your deer have a look and feel about them unlike many others, and they're in just superb health. Talk to us a little bit about kind of your pens, and you have a TC1 facility and a certified facility. Talk a little bit about kind of how you got from 5 pens to where you are today.
So the first pins were TC1, but we ended up getting in contact with another breeder, and we actually bought a bunch of certified bred does. Instead of destatusing them, we decided to breed or make 2 facilities. So that's kind of how we got both of those. We've got 20 pins in certified, we got 11 in TC1, so the certified's a little bit bigger. But we're planning on growing both of them at the same rate and keeping them like that.
Well, the quality of deer in both facilities is phenomenal. So you're doing a great job of it. Speaking on that, let's go a little bit further. Talk to me about your nutrition program here at Pinnacle.
Okay, so we actually feed Record Rack. It's their buck developer feed, which is a 19% protein, 9% fat, and we feed it directly out of the bag. So that's what bucks, does, fawns, everything from a week-old fawn to my oldest buck here. That's what everybody gets.
Sure.
Along with free choice alfalfa, 365 days a year.
Wow. And so one of the most interesting things that I saw out there were your Nelson water troughs. Talk to us a little bit about that, because a lot of people are feeding out of water reserves or outback water or something like that.
We saw these are actually horse water troughs. And when we saw them, we just took the opportunity to see fresh water. And I think that's what it's all about. A lot of people don't like them because, it's not that much water in there. So if the water happens to go out, you don't have that much reserve, but we're in our pens so many times a day, it works for us. So.
Yeah, talk to me a little bit about that. As we were driving around, you mentioned that you or one of the people here, one of your family members, is in those pens 3 times a day.
Yes, sir.
Talk to me about the time that it takes to create a robust facility like this.
Our whole thing is animal husbandry, and I don't think you can have that unless you're really in your pens with your deer. You know your deer, know the personality of them. That's the best way to have a healthy deer herd. That's why we bottle feed. That's why we're in the pen so much. A guy goes in before me in the morning, feeds, and I go in after him and check. And most of the time, one of us go back through midday and just make sure everybody's doing good. And then in the afternoon, the exact same thing. So we ended up actually feeding twice a day. So hand feeding.
Well, that's fantastic. It is no stretch of the imagination to say you have some of the most healthy looking and bigger deer that I've seen in the business.
I appreciate that.
Another thing that you were talking to me about there is you don't see a whole lot of grass inside pens, but your pens, as we show the videos, folks, you're going to see these pens are like walking on a golf course. Talk to me a little bit about why you maintain it like that, why that's important to you.
I just think it's more natural for them. You have a lot less sickness. You don't have as much pneumonia. All the fawns are healthier. Your weaning percentage off moms are a lot higher as well. It really just takes rotation. You have to rotate your pens to have grass like we do down here. But we're in a good part of the country too, so I really can't complain.
Well, let's knock on wood that you were talking about earlier. You haven't had a lot of sickness, and I know that it's kind of the summer, and we get into that EHD season, and y'all have had a lucky and
We've
a good year.
We've had a lucky year, so.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, talk to me a little bit about age structure in your pens. You have more yearlings than older deer? Do you have 2-year-olds?
In our certified herd, I actually only grew out 6 2-year-olds and 0 3-year-olds. So it's a brand new herd. This was our actual first set of yearlings this year. So it's a pretty young herd, pretty early herd that we're planning on. We're really excited about.
So from 5 pens to basically 30 by the time you count your TC1 in just a matter of years, that's incredible. So Connor, let's expand on this a little bit. Pinnacle is known as a family-run operation.
Yes, sir.
Talk to me kind of why that's important, and talk to me about kind of what advantages come along with being a family-run operation.
Well, family's real important to us. We started off, we did everything together. It's me, my father, and my uncle, Randy and Rodney. So we've pretty much always been hunting and fishing together. So we decided to take that and turn it into a business. And it actually works really well. The family aspect of it is great.
Well, you went from hunting and fishing and playing to working every single day. Some might think you're crazy.
No, I think we all enjoy it just about as much as our hobbies. So really can't complain.
Good. Okay, well, along with the family environment here, when I showed up today, our staff is always welcomed here. It really feels like your guests are part of the family. Talk to us a little bit about the importance you have for customer service.
We really take pride in what we do here, and that's our actual number one goal here is just to make sure we have really good customer service.
Yeah, I think too often our industry sometimes misses at that. We get so focused on the health and wellness of the animals that we forget that customer service is such a big product of any commercial business. And so I really appreciate the fact that y'all are driven towards customer service. Now, you mentioned earlier that you haven't sold a lot of deer because you're so new. Are you at the point now where you're starting to market and
Yes, sir. We're at the point now where we're starting to get ready to turn some animals. Up until this point, we were really just trying to grow our herds. Grow our numbers. Every fawn we have every year, we try to keep and breed back and just get the numbers to where we wanted them. We're still not exactly to the numbers that we want, but we're at the point to start turning deer and making a difference.
Sure. I think it's just it's astounding that you guys got in. I think it was Randy that said earlier that y'all bought deer 2 weeks before CWD hit.
We did.
The fact that you stayed with it and ran the gambit of risk to get to where you are today, building such a phenomenal facility and such a great quality of your herd that you have out there, it takes a little bit of courage and a whole lot of discipline. Now that you're into kind of marketing these animals, talk to us a little bit about who you would like to sell to. Is it breeders? Is it stockers? Is it a bit of both?
It's really just a bit of both. We have a market for both in both facilities. We have breeder quality does that we know have production, and we also have stalker does that we love to turn out on ranches. Bucks we love to turn on ranches. So it's honestly a little bit of everything.
Good. Well, I can tell you from firsthand experience that this is one of the most appealing facilities I've been to, both from your customer service, from your ability to drive us around through the pens and see all the animals and look and touch and feel the animals, and then also just from accessibility. A lot of people sometimes forget that getting through pens is important to be able to see and touch and feel. And here it's wide open. It's easily viewable. And I know that y'all spent a lot of time designing the facility. Talk to me a little bit about why there's two facilities, why TC1 and why certified.
So it's really just a genetic flexibility. If we just had certified, I don't know the actual percentages, but there's a lot more TC1 facilities than certified. So if we wanted to go buy a TC1 deer, we just couldn't do it. So we decided to have both so we could buy deer from either facility, either status.
Yeah, I think you're doing a great job in the market, and I know that there's a lot of people excited. I know at some of the sales last year, y'all were coming, and you had the brand and you had the family, and you were really enjoying the sales, but you weren't selling. And I know now that you're selling, I know there's going to be a lot of people that are excited to come out. Are you offering people to come out here and see your animals?
100%. We're available really 365 days a year. So anybody that wants to come out is welcome to contact us, and we'd be more than happy to bring them in and show them everything. Good.
Well, I know that we talked a little bit earlier about having a TDA event out here. I would love for you and your father and your uncle to take us up on that. We would love to have an event out here to showcase what you're doing.
100%.
Good. Well, folks, thank you very much for tuning in to TDA TV today. We really appreciate you sticking around with us. If you haven't gotten to know Connor and the other members of the Pinnacle team, please reach out and get to know them. We'll put the phone number and their email address up on screen so that you'll be able to reach them, and we look forward to y'all contacting them and getting out here to Pinnacle. Thanks.